Tim!
Yes.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm totally playing Crysis 3.
Is that such a thing even possible? I mean, I thought Crysis was supposed to be one of those games that would like break a PS3.
Nope.
But you're playing it on the PS3. I see the
one?
DualShock in your hand.
And look at it. It looks kind of pretty.
Yeah, you guys who are like listening in, you totally missed it. But when he actually stuck this in the machine, it was like an air raid siren went off, and like Steam was just venting out. And it was like, "Warning, danger, Tim Ashdown, danger."
And if there's one thing that looks good in Crysis 3, it's totally Steam.
Yeah.
So
it's like, wow, look at that. It's like a science fiction first-person shooter, and it's totally gray. What a surprise! I never expected a gray science fiction first-person shooter, and yet here we go.
Oh, I think this is pretty green.
Well, green-ish. It's like that building's gray and that dude is gray. Does he have a mustache? You're
No,
following a guy.
no.
Does that guy that you're following have a mustache?
He does not.
Show me his face. I want proof that this guy is Sans mustache.
Oh, maybe not into the minefield. See?
Oh, he doesn't have a mustache.
No mustache.
Oh, well, he's kind of growing a beard.
He's kind of hairless.
Yeah.
He's kind of going the opposite
Yeah, all
direction.
right.
All right.
Okay, so what are we doing here? Why are there signs with like skulls on them?
Because this is a minefield.
So we're in Cambodia.
Actually, New York.
No? Oh, okay.
This is a reclaimed New York City within the Liberty Dome, which you can see encased in the city here.
Oh, okay.
The Liberty Dome has been set up by the Cell Corporation in order to contain the island of Manhattan.
So it's not that Pol Pot suddenly took control of New York and decided to redecorate it with landmines.
Kind of. The Cell Corporation would be Pol Pot at that point.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is the second area of the game. I've already infiltrated into the dome, and now I'm in the dome, and I'm playing Prophet, and then this is Psycho, who you might remember from Crysis and Crysis 2.
Yes, see, having never played any of the Crysis games, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
So basically, how do I get across the minefield? I can walk right in there, or blow up a mine, but let's do it the fun way and hack the shit. So you bring up your visor.
You can hack landmines in the
You can
future?
hack landmines.
Oh, okay.
Brings up the hacky minigame. Quite easy.
So
and then, boom.
when you do this, then I guess then all of a sudden it's like Beyonce gets on Twitter and says, "OMG, I was hacked, lol."
Yep.
Something like that. Hacking landmines just like Twitter. Okay.
Exactly. And basically, one of the cool features of hacking stuff is that what that'll do is it'll change the threat on these mines. So if an enemy were to walk across these mines, it would blow them up instead.
Okay.
Which is very useful. I've killed a couple guys doing that, so that's pretty cool.
Well, okay, what's going on now? You're like seeing funky things on the edges of your screen.
Because this thing is Ceph, or cephalopod technology, which is the alien race in the Crysis series. And since my suit also has absorbed some cephalopod technology, the suit reacts strangely when around alien technology.
Oh, okay.
So what I can do is climb on top of it.
Oh, you can jump on it. Oh, okay, that's
Yes,
cool.
the power suit is definitely back. Has lots of features, like you can super jump, bring up your armor, so that'll bring maximum armor, which allows you to take more bullets. You can also cloak, become invisible. And then there's obviously the super strength, which I can show you because I'm going to kick this car over.
Oh, okay.
See, yeah, pretty strong stuff.
I mean, yeah, who hasn't wanted to kick a New York cab in their life?
Exactly.
Is this where we're going up to it?
Oh, Psycho.
Wow, that was so not impressive.
You know what you need? You need one of those Batman leg braces,
Yeah.
so you can just, give her one of these. Boom! See?
Okay,
There
so
you go.
what are we doing here? Why are we headed? Is this a subway station or not? A subway? It's
Yes,
like-
this is the old subway platform.
Okay.
We're going through here because we were trying to get to Highline Park. This is Highline Park, and Highline Park is monitored by a high-altitude ordnance defense system, which we're going to be shown in a second.
Like that sounds like flying guns to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically up in that tower up there, there's basically missiles.
Okay. So graphically, how does this compare to like the almighty, glorious PC Master Race version?
Well, I haven't seen what it looks like on PC, but there's probably definite advantages. I've noticed a couple drops in frames here and there, but it's normally when you hit a checkpoint and things are loading in, so it doesn't take you out of the experience too much. But I mean, that's the thing. Is like between this game and strangely enough, visually this looks a lot like Far Cry 3, which was the original Far Cry was done by Crytek, which is now doing Crysis. So there's your air explosive ordnance system, and now the Cell Corporation going in to take out whatever that was firing at. So yeah, no, it looks really good. Aesthetically, it reminds me a lot of Portal 2, which is kind of industrialized, reclaimed by nature aesthetic. But
Sunny.
it is sunnier than Portal 2. And one of the things that it does exceptionally well is volumetric fog and smoke effects. I've never seen smoke or fog look this good. It doesn't look like a texture. It actually looks like it's dynamically forming in the environment and things like that. And the facial animations look really good. I mean, you do a lot of close-up stuff with Psycho, and the facial modeling is really, really good. And also, you can see on Psycho's, the ghillie suit that Psycho's got on there is, it's got some dynamic cloth to it. Those things move around as he moves.
What's your plan?
Which is really nice to see, because normally things like cloth and hair and things like that tend to just be really static.
Okay. So what's going on now? Why is he acting like a nervous grandmother?
Because we have to cross this gigantic field here.
Okay, because that's really not impressing me right now. That he's supposed to be like a badass military dude, and
He's got personal issues.
okay.
Psycho used to be a nanosuit operative, much like myself, but unfortunately at this point, some bad stuff has happened, and he's no longer a nanosuit operative. I don't want to get any more deeper than that without
Needs
spoiling
a
anything.
nice cup of tea to settle himself down.
Yes, he does.
Like this one.
He definitely earns his nickname in this game by activating and being fired upon by that crazy system. So I'm going to run out here and try and avoid that thing. Once it detects where I am, it'll fire rockets at me, which will kill me. So we don't want that. And now I'm looking for a weapon. So Psycho's now feeding me details of these waypoints on the map where I can go find a decent weapon. So let's very quickly stealth up and head over here. Like any other Crysis game, the faster you're moving while cloaked, the faster it drains. Right there, it's already drained out. And unfortunately, that weapon has now locked on me.
How are the controls?
It plays very similar to Halo in the fact that you are a super soldier. You can jump higher than the average person. And the guns all feel really good. They're very, kind of techy and futuristic, because this does take place in like the year 20.
It's like the standard game. You've got like the regenerating health and all that sort of thing. There's no health packs or anything like that.
No, there's no health packs. But even then, once your armor is depleted, there's not much. It'll take a lot for you really got to get to cover quickly, or else you'll die.
Okay.
But in order to stay in a firefight longer, you want to bring up the armor, which I've just done there, which will prevent things from hurting me too much.
So we're basically just looking at the beginning of the game right now?
Yes, this is
all tutorial stuff?
This is pretty much the first, well, it's not, the tutorial's over. The tutorial is actually separate from the main story.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a separate like VR mission type thing they put you through. And it's a decently paced tutorial. I didn't feel dumb playing it, because I normally play, even if I've played the entire series before, I'll still play the tutorial just to see what they're trying to get me to do so I can play the game properly. But your speed of movement is really nice. You move really quickly through the environments, which is nice because some of these arenas are quite expansive. Like the one I'm in right now is quite large. But not everything is like that. Sometimes you do get bogged down in tight, close quarter corridors. See, I died there because I'm not stealthing my way through this.
Is that pretty much mandatory?
At this point, yes, it is totally recommended. I'm trying to get through it a lot quicker, but one of the things I really do like about the game is that you can start off completely stealthy, like if you're dealing with an opposing faction like the Ceph or the Cell operatives. You can stealth around and pick people off one by one, but then basically once you get found out and they're aware of you, you can really easily transition to guns blazing and run around and jump around and take guys out pretty quickly with some brutal force. It doesn't take much to actually pick up a guy and throw him or just punch him to death.
Okay, so this really
which I like to do a lot.
One of those total badass.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that kind of bums me out, because you start off as a total badass, and there are suit upgrades, as you can see in this screen here. There's different augmentations you can unlock for your nanosuit.
So
but
this is not pausing your game when you...
No, when you bring up those upgrades. It doesn't pause your game because you can change them on the fly.
Oh, okay.
And you can also change your weapon modifications. So if I don't like this scope, I can go back to iron sights and then have a regular iron sight scope. And I like that, just being able to change your things on the fly, so it allows you to adapt to the battlefield in real time, which is kind of nice. Provides a little bit of strategy to it. It could just be tricky to not get destroyed while you're doing that, because like you said, it doesn't pause the game. Just the waypoint I want.
I'm still not sure why this mission is. You're supposed to be going behind the weapon. I see you're holding it.
I need a weapon that's going to take out this tower that is destroying me and kill me again. So let's just restart. That's another good thing is that if you do die, it gets you right back into the action really quickly.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast reload.
Yeah. Whereas some first-person shooters you have to sit through a loading screen and you have to reset everything.
For the PS3 version, I assume then that there was some kind of install on this. Do you remember the file size?
There was. I don't remember the file size, but it didn't take long. It took about 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not gigabytes of data that they're loading in.
Oh, okay, that's pretty surprising. I assumed that they were just going to throw like 5 or 6 gigs on your hard drive. If they said,
no, they didn't, and it runs pretty smoothly without being installed to the hard drive. So.
Sector 1, Delta 2.
With the optimization. There you go. That's what the.
Okay, so the packaging, which has now been dropped in my hand, is like, oh, okay, just 3 gigs. Well, okay, that's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so what strategy are you taking now? Since
Ducking cover, essentially.
Is this working? Hiding?
Yeah, it's just pretty much staying out of the line of fire.
See, but the line of fire seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, because once it locks onto my location, it kind of is going to saturate the area with explosives until I'm dead, which is its mission. So it's doing its job quite effectively. There, we'll stealth out a bit here, so maybe it'll ignore me. This giant tower up there that's actually firing at me. So the only problem is when you don't want to get caught in the open when your stealth energy runs out, because then you're out in the open with no stealth. So stealth up here, run over here, and trying to get through. Unfortunately, I remember there being more enemies in this point, but I think until I take that tower out, we're not going to see them.
Alright, well, that's a single player, so what's a multiplayer, right?
The multiplayer, which I'll show you right now. Yeah, the multiplayer plays very similar to Halo. Like I said, the single player campaign being a badass, it feels very much like Halo, but the multiplayer feels even more like Halo because you're doing these big jumps and running around with shields and armor and stuff. But there's one emergent thing that I've noticed from playing the multiplayer is that since a lot of people are cloaked, once one person uncloaks, you'll all of a sudden see 6 guys uncloak, and it just becomes a big like brawl in the middle because everyone uncloaks at once because everyone wants to get that kill. So there's a couple game types in the multiplayer. There's a new one in Crysis 3 called Hunter, and what that is basically there's one team plays like regular mercenaries or Marines, and then the other starts off as one. The other team plays a nanosuit operative with a bow and stealth. And basically, you ever play the Halo game type zombies, where one person starts as a zombie and if you kill the other faction, then they become one? Yeah. So as a hunter, once you take out one of the Marines, once you take out one of the Marines, they will die and then respawn as a hunter. So eventually, there's like one guy left. And with several hunters running around, so it gets kind of terrifying.
Is that the mode that's kind of standout for you in the multiplayer here?
With this one so far, yeah. Also, it's got the standard fare, like variants of Capture the Flag and Team Deathmatch, regular Deathmatch. But the standout bit about the multiplayer is the maps. They're really, really detailed. This one museum is actually one that we're going to go into right now is actually one of the better ones. I really like it simply because, this is Doom. I've never seen this before. But, yeah, so we're all playing, I guess, operatives, and we're gonna, be dropped in here. So you get to pick your loadout. So like any other modern shooter these days, you start off with a couple predetermined loadouts, and then as you unlock more items, you'll unlock more loadouts. Okay, so this is the museum map, and it's, I think the Natural History Museum in New York, only reclaimed by nature and totally destroyed. And what I like about this is how many levels there are to it. You can go, run up high really easily, run along trees, and then
it's looking pretty gray.
Yeah, it is because it's post-apocalyptic, so of course it's going to be gray because everything looks the same these days. But yeah, just the sheer amount of variety you find in the environment of the different levels. Like there's 3 or 4 different levels of verticality to it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, this kind of looks like what Fallout 3 would have looked like on the PS3 had it worked properly.
Exactly. And so right now, since I'm playing as a Marine, my job is to stay alive. And you can see I'm getting more points there for just staying alive, which is kind of nice. But then eventually, one of those predator-looking cloaked hunter guys in a nanosuit is going to find me and kill me.
So presumably, you can see some sort of distortion effect, so they're not totally invisible.
Yep.
Okay.
Or if they shoot at you, they will definitely. There's a damage indicator, so you can kind of get an idea of where that damage is coming from, which helps with cloaked enemies. See, now that there's only me and one other operative running around,
And somebody shooting you.
and
And
someone shot me. There you go. So it gets pretty terrifying when you're like the last guy left.
Yeah.
And I also see there, that's over. So now that all the cell operatives have been eliminated, the hunters win. And I'm second on the leaderboard actually because I managed to stay alive for a minute and a half. Just waiting to respond.
So now you've switched sides, I guess, and you are the hunters now?
No.
No,
So
you're still the operative.
I'm still an operative, but I will become a hunter if I were to die. The only reason why that didn't show up last time is because I was actually one of the last people left alive. And this gun I have right now is called the Typhoon, which is one of the new guns for Crysis 3. It fires 500 rounds per second.
Okay, that's kind of insane.
It is specific. It's got like, I think 8 barrels on it, and fires these tiny little slugs, and is really effective at taking out the Ceph. And the Ceph are this kind of biomechanical cephalopod in an exoskeleton type organism. So they're pretty beefy and can take a lot to take down. So this gun is really useful when fighting those types of guys.
So how big are these maps? Because you said that you did like them.
Yeah, they're pretty large in size. I haven't really actually played any of the smaller ones, so they're pretty expansive, and there's lots of places you can hide and set up a sniper spot, which is good if that's your play style. But like I said, since the traversal mechanics are quite quick, you can move around the map pretty quickly, and the sprint doesn't ever seem to run
Are
out.
these maps at all camper friendly, since I'm a jerk and I like to camp?
Yep, totally. There's lots of places you can hide, and also with the stealth, you can often stay cloaked for a while, because if you're not moving, you'll stay cloaked for quite a while. However, once you do fire, I'm trying to stay with this guy, because hopefully he dies first. Nope, it was me.
Okay.
So
Well, you were kind of starting to, it's like lag behind there.
yeah,
so-
and much like we saw in Aliens Colonial Marines, if you lag behind your team,
they take you down.
you'll get picked off. So, but I stayed alive for a minute and a half there again, so I'm doing pretty well so far. So, yeah, for being a unique mode, I think the Hunter mode is pretty good.
Okay.
I enjoy it for the most part. Every time there's a new type of game type in a multiplayer shooter, I always try to check it out to see what they're doing differently. And yeah, I like this.
What kind of legs do you think this multiplayer has? I mean, can you see a community building up around this?
I can, just because of how different it is from something like Far Cry or Call of Duty, just because of the sci-fi elements to it and the fact that you are running around in a super power suit. Which you're not seeing a lot here because I'm playing as a Marine, but when everybody's wearing a power suit and everybody can stealth, it makes for a really different type of play style than if it's just whereas I find in Call of Duty, basically, if you see them first, you win.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you actually do have a fighting chance if you happen to run into someone. Not in this mode, because it's the Hunter mode. But
Is there a lot of room for tactics in this game? Because I mean, like, I tend to agree with you when it comes to Call of Duty. That's more of a, it's like spray and pray kind of thing.
yeah, this you can. Actually, because the maps are so big and you have a decent depth of field. See, there's one. Die.
Oh, okay.
There, I killed one. Denied. Because the maps are so large, if you do have a sniper scope, you can see pretty far across the map. So you can actually find out a guy, and since they're not the most linear maps in the world, it's really easy to flank someone or outflank someone to get the drop on them and therefore, earn that kill.
All right. Well,
So I am the last man standing.
you're the
right
last
now.
man standing. So.
And I think I just got killed.
All right, well, okay.
There you go.
That
So that's
was-
multiplayer. So that's Hunter mode. The deathmatch is still pretty good too. So I'll probably talk. I'm playing the multiplayer right now, so I'll talk more about that in my full review, which should be up on cgmagazine.ca this Monday. Probably now as you're listening to this video. That's what we're gonna do, right? Cool. Awesome, getting the signal from my director. I just want to leave you with one last final thought. We are currently running a contest here at CG Magazine. We're giving away the new Tomb Raider Xbox 360 controllers. If you want to win one of those, it's a really sweet Xbox controller it's all Tomb Raidered up. If you want to win one of those and a free subscription to Comics and Gaming Magazine, head on over to cgmagazine.ca and click on contest for more contest details on that.
So when you say like all Tomb Raidered up, do you mean like Lara Croft is on the controller?
Is Lara Croft on the controller? I don't know.
It's like, do you have Lara
she?
Croft?
Yes.
Do you have Lara Croft in your hands? You're fondling Lara Croft for hours on
yes,
end.
if you want to fondle Lara Croft,
For hours on end.
then enter our contest on CGMagazine.ca.
Let's see let's see this.
Oh, she's not actually on it.
No,
Oh,
Lara
that's a
Croft is
bummer.
not on it. It's just red.
No. It's red and scratched up and weathered and stuff like that. But it
Okay,
looks
so
pretty cool.
if you want a brand new controller that looks damaged, I don't know why you'd want that, but if you do,
It is a limited edition
a
Tomb Raider
brand new
controller.
damaged-looking Lara Croft controller, which doesn't actually have Lara Croft on it.
60 seconds remaining. Hunt them down, kill them.
And I'll leave you with that death. There you go. Enjoy Crysis 3.